Everybody, welcome to Bestie Book Reviews. I'm here with my bestie Mandy.
And I'm here with my bestie Jessica.
So it's time to do our October wrap up. Almost forgot what month we're wrapping up.
Every month you struggle with this concept.
I do, because you know why? We typically film our TBR before our wrap up. So we filmed our TBR a few days before this video. So I'm already thinking it's November when it's not. It's still October. So
but like last month I feel like you went back months.
Oh, I probably did.
To wrap up, but maybe I'm wrong.
But we're also filming this at night, which doesn't help because I'm like, what? We both know that we get loopy at night. So anyhow, we're going to go over the top 5 books that we read for the month of October in order from 5 to 1. So before we start that though, Mandy,
hold on.
Get situated.
Yeah, so I just tipped it. Hold on.
Okay, I am in the living room instead of in my bedroom, which makes a difference where I'm recording. I just wanted to be comfortable, and my youngest is gone, so it's quiet around here, so I can do it out here, you know. So, okay, before we get started.
Well, we would love for you to hit that subscribe button if you have not yet. So we really appreciate it if you'd hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed yet. If you are subscribed, thank you so much. We really appreciate all of you for watching our videos, and we love it when you like and comment. We love hearing from you guys. So what was a top read for you during the month of October?
Yeah, that'd be cool. Okay, so I don't have my glasses on, and I've pushed this further out and I can see us, and my sweater's oversized. I feel like I look like a little bobblehead with green blob. Just a green blob. That's what it looks like.
I thought you were wrapped in a blanket.
No, it's my oversized sweater, and it's huge, and I'm leaning, so it makes me look like a blob. I swear, guys, it's the eyes. It's just a trick of the eyes. So,
oh my gosh.
Anyhow, okay, because I'm leaning, I'm not sitting up straight either. All right, so let's talk about my book that came in at number 5 this month, and this is Cute But Creepy by Beatrix Hollow. I read this one for Halloween. I thought this would be kind of fun. So this is a follow-up to her Cute But Psycho book. So this is like, basically it's part 2. It's part of the duet. But this takes place at Fairfallen Asylum. It is paranormal, and it is white shoes. So you do need to read Cute But Psycho before you read Cute But Creepy. So this is about Hazel, who is our heroine for this book, and she is a phoenix, and her brother is one of the heroes from book 2, who is a basilisk, but he accidentally killed her parents, and she thinks he did it on purpose. And she is getting herself admitted to this psych ward to get revenge on her brother. She wants to kill her brother. She wants to take revenge for her parents. And so she gets herself admitted to the psych ward. The funny thing is when she's taking this test to see if she is crazy enough to be in the psych ward, she's like, oh, just answer all these questions opposite of how I would normally answer it. And that honestly gave her a clean bill of health. And she was like, wait, that makes no sense because I'm not crazy. Yes, she is crazy. So that was really fun. But anyhow, in this psych ward, she meets a doctor and another patient, and that is where her story starts. And I don't want to give anything away, but this one is an MFM, or no, it's MMF. I can't, but the 2 guys have a little bit of a relationship as well. It was great, obviously, because it is in my top 5. You know what we forgot to do?
How many
how many 5 stars and how many books are in.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's go back. Since now that I've already given my number 5, let's do that.
Okay.
Okay, what do you got?
I read 34 books, and I believe I was writing that I had 12 5-star books, but 12 and 5 are very close together, so I had 125 star books. No, 12 5 stars out of 34.
That's funny. I read 31 books, and I had 8 5 stars. Mine, if I got them a tiny bit closer, it'd be 85 stars. But no, it's 8 5 stars. Okay, so now that we went back and got that out of the way, because we forgot that, what's book number 5, or how many books do you have in the number 5 spot?
I just have 1 book in the number 5 spot.
The number 5 spot. Okay. All right, tell us about it.
So this is All This Time by Harlow James. It's the first book in her brand new series, Blossom Peak. And so this one sucked me right in. We have Fletcher and Lainey. They're going to be in a wedding together, like the group. Oh my gosh. Best man and maid of honor. The groom is a good friend of both of theirs. The bride is not somebody that Lainey really cares for, but she's doing this because she really likes the groom. And the bride and groom have kind of checked out of the whole planning process a little bit. And she just keeps telling Lainey all these things to do. So Lainey and Fletcher end up kind of busy doing a lot of things for this wedding. So they're spending a lot of time together. But this is like a second chance, friends to lovers type situation going on. They used to know each other. Fletcher's been gone for a long time. We don't know exactly what's happened between the two of them, and we kind of see those flashbacks, which I absolutely loved in this one. And yeah, so now he is back and he's ready to try and make things right with Lainey. I really, obviously, again, loved it because it is in my top 5 of the month. But I'm also really excited for this series because there were characters that we get introduced to that I'm really excited to see their stories.
Okay. I'm curious if the author I have next, if they end up on your top 5, because I know that you enjoyed their book and you read it this month. But let's see. So book number 4 for me, and this will just be a surprise, I guess, if it deserves it, is Dreadful by Greer Rivers. I wasn't thinking. Because didn't you read a Greer Rivers book this month that you really liked?
I did.
Okay, well, we'll see if it ended up there.
You'll have to stay tuned.
Stay tuned to see. All right, so this is book number 3 in the Tattered Curtain series. It's a trilogy that she has. You can read them all as standalones. They're just they're interconnected standalones, but you don't have to read them in order. They are all retellings or reimaginings of certain plays and ballets. And so this one is a reimagining of Medusa and Sweeney Todd. And it was very unique. I really liked it. It was about Talia and Sever. So Sever is the nephew to the head of the mob. He is also his dad is also a part of it. His dad and his uncle have been fighting. They're brothers. They both think that they should be running the mob, and so basically, they're kind of at war with each other. And so the uncle actually kidnaps Sever when he's a little boy, and he keeps him in his basement to torture him and his father, basically, or something like that. And next to him is a little girl being held in this room. And she has this list in her head of everybody who's hurt her, who's there. And she's not hurt. I mean, she's hurt in some pretty horrific ways. And she's going to get revenge on them. And so she keeps reciting it. She's made it into a nursery room and she keeps reciting it, or nursery rhyme, and she keeps reciting it. And so one day the opportunity arises, they kind of talk to each other through a wall, but the opportunity arises for them to escape. And as they're trying to escape, he scales the wall. And as she's coming over, the dogs are let out and she does not make it over the wall. She sacrifices herself for him. And now we fast forward umpteen years later, and he is out for revenge, out to get, he's always, missed that girl. He wonders, what she could have been. And he is trying to get revenge on his uncle, and some mob things are happening when he walks into a bakery or a restaurant of some kind, and that is where he sees Talia. And Talia has some secrets of her own, and she's out to get some revenge of her own. And so this was just a lot of fun. And when they just the way they find out like that each other is out for revenge is very interesting, and I really liked it. So there you go. I can't hit that button. Okay.
All right. Number 4 for me is The Rowdy Ones by Kay Webster.
Mm-hmm.
So a heads up, you really need to read this whole series, start with the Wild and then the Free, and read in order. I suppose if you didn't want to read the Wild and Free, you could start with Untamed and Unruly. But you really want to read in order. The Rowdy Ones does give us a little bit of a recap to remind us what happened in, I think it was Daddy Reed. or no, Wild Winter, excuse me. It gives us a little recap of what happened in Wild Winter so that we are back up to speed if we've forgotten anything. But I really think you want to read the series in order. So anyway, the Rowdy Ones is Rowdy and Destiny's story. This is extremely taboo. They are going into town to stay with to Eve and Atticus. We should just not do these in the evening, I don't think.
I know.
They're going to go stay with Eve and Atticus because Destiny is near blind. She has very, very low vision and she has had some trauma. And so her parents really want her to get access to services and things that will help her be able to navigate the world. And so she goes to stay with them. Rowdy goes with her, and this is where she's going to learn a lot about herself and how to take care of herself and meet her needs that she has being a blind person, especially since they live out in the wilderness. And Rowdy and her are going to bond, and some feelings are going to start changing, and it's going to get very taboo. I really enjoyed it, though. I love Kay Webster's taboo worlds.
We all do. I mean, I at least think we all do. You and I do. Lots of people do. So, okay. Well, the book that landed in the number 3 spot for me is it's a series, and in the first 3 books it's the same couple and then it changes to a different couple, and I honestly haven't even finished the series. I only read the first 2, but they were so good I can't wait to continue on in the next. I just haven't had a minute to sit down and read them because there was no audio for this, the 3rd one. So this is Thrall by K.A. Riley, and this is again, this is a retelling kind of, but it's a dystopian Cinderella story, basically. So this is about Shara and Thorn. So in this world, and I'm trying to remember exactly because I read these like literally the first day of the month. In this world, where everybody's human, but there's like a subsect of humans that have a little bit more power. They have like different things that have evolved over time. Like, you know, they're strong or whatever, like they have certain things. And if a thrall they call them a thrall, they're not to procreate. If they have children, their children become wards of the state or the country that they're living in. All the kids that are thralls grow up in this building in the capital together. They don't leave it until they're 19, I believe is what it is. And when they leave, it's after they've been trained all these years. They live in like this white walled room. Everything is just white, like blinding white. And when they leave, it's to be basically like servants to the wealthy, to the humans. And that's it. Like that is just a ball of fun. And so Shara has the power of healing, and she can heal herself and she can heal others. And so before she graduates from this big white walled place, they have like a test, and that is where she meets Thorn. He comes in, he's the one who is testing all the kids or all these teenagers, but he has a connection with her, and she eventually gets assigned this woman who has who's a widow with 2 stepdaughters. This is where you're getting the Cinderella part. And when she gets to the estate, she's going to be there like a maid for this estate. That is where she meets Thorn again, and realizes that he is he also works there. And I loved the take on Cinderella here. I love there's so much to the story. I'm doing a horrible job of explaining it, but like there's a whole coup. Like there's so much going on. There's a prince and a king that come into power. There's blackmail. There's all sorts. There's little robot mice, and that's how you get part of the Cinderella thing too. Like it's so cool. You guys should totally check it out if you like dystopian.
Hey.
I'm just so tired that I can't think straight to tell you guys what about the book. Okay, go.
I'd like to point out it's 6:30, not like midnight that we're recording.
I've just been working around the clock.
It's been a long day for both of us.
Yeah, exactly.
I like literally just got home from work.
I know, that's why we're getting teacher Mandy.
Yes. Okay. So in 3rd place, I have a tie.
Of course you do.
But that is because one is a thriller. So
I'll talk about anything.
My thriller, and then I'll move to my next book really quickly for 3rd place. So in 3rd place, we have The Perfect Murder by Amanda McKenney. And this is about Savvy. Savvy is a writer. She writes cozy murder mysteries, like with baked goods involved and all of that stuff. Like kind of like a Hallmark mystery, if you will. And so writing is just her escape, and she's got a lot of stuff going on. She just became very famous. Her book like blew up. She's going on, you know, tours and all of that stuff with her book. So it's like a big deal. And she's writing a thriller in secret about a murder mystery. And so this is like pretty dark from what she normally writes. And this is secretly done. Nobody knows that she's doing it, but this is just kind of her escape. And then the things that she's writing start happening like very precisely. So loved it. It was a real page turner. Really, really enjoyed it. Then my other third place book is Play Fake by Lisa Suzanne. This starts off, or this is the second book in the Bradley legacy. And this starts off with Dex having this woman show up and dropping this baby off and saying, hey, this is your kid. I'm not going to be around for a while, so you have to take care of him. Bye. And he runs like he's like, okay, well, I'm gonna go out for a run while you say goodbye. And like he's just got to clear his head because he's been a big NFL bad boy, playboy, like all the things. And so he goes out for this run and he literally runs into Ainsley, who is running away from being on a TV show, like a love show where she was supposed to be getting married on TV. She says, I do. He said, I don't. She's embarrassed, so she runs. So she's literally in a wedding dress running down the street when they run into each other. They know each other because she is best friends with his little sister. And he kind of finds himself in a position of needing some help with this baby and also cleaning up his act. She's mortified and embarrassed about what happened on this TV series. So they decide to get married as like a marriage of convenience situation. I loved it. It was a lot of fun to read.
Are you having problems?
Yeah, because it almost ended the recording.
Oh no.
Okay, there we go.
Playing with McKinley. I thought she was gonna start howling at us here. Okay, the husky, for those who don't know. And now she's walked off. She's annoyed with us apparently. Okay, well, book number 2 for me. Like my number 2 and number 1 were really hard to choose between. I really enjoyed both of them, but I went with number 2 because there's just no, there's no darkness to it. So this is Huckleberry Hill by Emma Slate. I can't wait for book number 2 to come out. So this is a cowboy, on the ranch, kind of small town situation, surprise pregnancy. So this is about Hadley and Declan. So Hadley has been engaged. She's been living in New York with her twin sister. Her dad owns this big ranch out in the northern part of Idaho, and she decides that she finds out from 2 different doctors that she's infertile, and her fiance can't handle that, and so he and her break up, and he takes the planned trip that they had to Italy by himself without her, and she's already taken a month off of work. Work has where she worked is closed down for renovations. So she decides to go home and lick her wounds. She shows up in the middle of the night, and instead of waking up her dad and her grandma, which she couldn't say the word grandma as a little girl, so they call the grandma Muddy, like instead of grandma. I loved it. They called her Muddy. Anyhow, it's so cute. But she didn't want to wake up her dad and her grandma, and so she sneaks into like the little cabin that's on the property, not knowing that Declan, who is the new ranch hand, is living there. He's a new wrangler, and so he's living there. As she's getting out of her car and getting to the porch, a bear starts chasing her, which, then he hears the ruckus, opens the door and pulls her inside, and she lands on top of him, and it's like a whole thing. But he calls her bear snack throughout the whole book. Loved it. It was so cute. But they start up a secret relationship, kind of, because her dad doesn't want anybody to date his daughter. He threatens them and says, you can't do that. And she's just trying to lick her wounds and get over all of this and get over the heartbreak of not being able to have a baby and, what she thought her life was going to be. I loved it. I loved the cinnamon roll. Like, he's a cinnamon roll, but he's not such a cinnamon roll that he's so gooey you can't stand it. Because he's a cowboy and it is yummy. So I obviously loved it. It came in at number 2. but the next book comes out next month, and I'm really excited for that.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. My number 2 book is Unveil by Greer Rivers.
Okay, good. I was hoping I'd see that on here.
Okay, so this is a Dark Swan Lake retelling. As I've talked about this book before, you do not have to have any background knowledge on Swan Lake to really enjoy this one. It is also a second generation series that's just starting. So this is a brand new release from her, and it starts the Frayed Satin series, which second generation, but you do not have to have read the other 3 books to thoroughly enjoy this one. So we have Luna, and her family has been feuding with other families, and her dad and the 2 other families, that there's these 3 families that are very close, and the 3 dads 10 plus years ago were out drinking with the family that they feud with and gambled away the rights to their daughters on their 22nd birthday. And so Luna's 22nd birthday comes up first. The dads are all insistent we were drunk. It was not meant to be serious, but the other family is holding them to this. And so Luna, it's her 22nd birthday. She is doing her last ballet recital with the college that she's attending. The performance ends, and the guy she's been kind of seeing steps up onto the stage and asks her to marry him. And she says yes, but she's not really into this relationship, but it's in front of all these people. So she just agrees. Afterwards, this masked man comes up to her that she has met before when he was a masked man, and he takes her and they go on the run. Now, she is not a willing participant in this. Like, he actually kidnaps her, and that's Orion, and he is the one that she is supposed to be marrying, and he is insistent that she will marry him. And they go on the run, and things get dangerous very, very quickly. I loved it. So if you enjoy arranged marriage, a masked stalker, because he's been stalking her for a really long time, the whole touch her and die, mental health rep, which is done so well in this book, retelling, any of that stuff, you are going to love this one, I think.
Okay. I just like Greer Rivers. I've read all 3 in her Tattered Curtains, and I enjoyed all 3 of them. So I'm sure you'll enjoy this one too. So, I mean, by you, I mean them out there. So, because I already know that you did. All right. Are you ready for book number 1 for me? Can you guess what this is going to be?
Oh gosh, I don't know. You're looking at me. Oh, Grimm.
Yes. So this is Grimm by DJ Kramer and Joe Arden. I highly suggest listening to the audio because the audio was just amazing for this book. But this is a Halloween, or it's a paranormal romance. It's not a Halloween romance, it's a paranormal romance. So this is about Rue and Kane. So Rue is in her early 20s and she's dying, and she knows she's dying. She's got a heart condition that her father passed away from. And so she knows like her time is really limited, and she can feel that she's dying. And then you have Kane. He is a Grim Reaper, or a Reaper, and he is assigned the natural deaths. And so one day he gets the word that he's got to go reap this person, and so he shows up, and that is when he sees her, not necessarily for the first time, but that is when he sees Rue. She is out talking to her dad at his gravestone, or his tombstone, and she dies, and she dies prematurely. She wasn't supposed to quite die yet. And so he realizes that he can touch her, and he hasn't been able to touch anybody that once she dies and he pulls her out of it. He hasn't been able to touch anybody since he died hundreds of years ago. And so this is a rare thing. And so he realizes that she died before her time, and he brought her back, which is a huge no-no. And so the big D, or Mr. D, or whatever they called him, which is his boss, was like, you have to shadow her, you have to stick with her, you have to stay with her. And so because you weren't supposed to tell her, because she asked him how much, like, when her actual death date would be. And he because he brought her back, and so after that he told her, oh, it's 9 days from now, and that was a huge no-no. And so now he has to keep an eye on her, but now she can see the paranormal. Like he has to stick with her and keep her by his side, but she can see, when he takes her when he goes to reap, whether he likes it or not, she goes with him. And like she can see what's happening in the paranormal world. So she can kind of see both sides of it now. And I don't know, there was the perfect mix of humor and heart and angst, and it was just so friggin' good. And I don't know if I left anything out that was really important, because again, it's at nighttime and we don't do the best at nighttime with these, but like it was just so good. I loved it.
Okay.
So what's your number one?
Well, I have to say something and then I'll tell what my number one is. So I just want to point out that Jessica told me that if I've already read a book and I listen to it, even though I've never
It doesn't
listened,
count.
it doesn't count. So I just want to say, if I could have counted it, The Fall Before Flight by Ellen Halloran, narrated by Samantha Brentmore, would have been number one, but she says that I can't do that again. So
No, because if I pulled that crap like you're pulling, it would be all my favorite books all the time. It just be the
okay,
same books over and over again.
I just want to say that the audio for this was phenomenal and I loved it so much. And everyone needs to go read and listen to this book.
Okay,
So,
so what's book number 7 on your
following
list now?
Jessica's silly rules, number one for me was The Homemaker by
Okay.
Julianne. I absolutely love this because it gave me some of that angst that I'm always looking for. So this is about Alice. Alice is hired by this extremely wealthy couple. They're old. When I say older, it makes me feel weird because like they're not that much older than us. But he's like in his late 50s. And she's hired by them to be a homemaker, and it's not like a kinky thing. It's simply like he wanted his wife to be a homemaker and she doesn't want to be, so they have a shit ton of money. So she's like, I'll hire you somebody who will wear the dress from the 50s and do her hair like that and wear an apron and wear the heels, and she will bake you things and she'll tend the garden and she'll read to you, like all the stuff that you want. So Alice is hired to do this. Alice actually really enjoys doing all these things, so she is extremely happy there. It's free room and board, so she's getting paid a lot of money to do this, and she can save up, which is what her goal is. So she is very content doing this. Well, their daughter comes home with her fiance to spend the summer there while her and the mom plan the wedding and all the details. The daughter finds this whole arrangement odd, but whatever. And the real shocker comes when Alice meets the daughter's fiance, who is Murphy. And Alice and Murphy knew each other for a fortnight 8 years ago. And it was in a very impactful relationship that neither one of them quite got over. And we see it through flashbacks how their relationship, what happened this fortnight ago and what's currently happening. And I just absolutely loved it. It gave so much great angst because Murphy truly loves his fiance. And so while it is a love triangle, you basically know, like, it's not marketed as a love triangle because you know where it's headed. I loved it so much. I love that angsty feeling. So those
Mhm.
are my top books of the month.
All right. Well, that's a wrap on October. We've got
It
12 books
is.
there because Mandy gave a few extra.
Don't shame me.
Yeah.
So we would love to hear from you. What's the top read that you had in the month of October?
Mhm.
Right? Oh my gosh, I got
Yeah.
nervous for a second. I said the wrong one. We
Yeah,
would
there's
love
still
to hear
Halloween
from you in
decorations
those
up.
comments. And again, if you haven't hit that subscribe button, we would
Mhm.
love it if you did. And please make sure to check back on Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, and sometimes Wednesdays for new videos from us.
Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next video.